Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. Last time we ended up dealing with the Anvers and the Final Dawn cult chapter here on Footfall. And now we actually have very little to do. We just have to go to here, the Adeptus Amazakis, and recruit our new crew member, Jae Heydari. Because otherwise this area is all clear. I think we'll have to go back to talk to Takara about the people who are stuck and need help. But actually I can check that in the journal. Yeah, the local inhabitants of the Liege of Footfall can provide more information, so we gotta go talk to Takara again. And actually, we have a decent amount to do here. Because we have someone we have to talk to from Raikadi Philia, I believe it was. And there's a lot of loot just kind of left sitting around here. Just gonna activate the ability to see everything and go from here. Actually, there is another quest we can grab here, which is good to do. Talk to here, Gordai Skatov. The flabby man in worn clothes is sighing sadly over a glass of murky booze. Only when he looks up at you do you notice his eyes, large, piercing, and full of sorrow, a stark contrast to his unkempt appearance. Could it be that someone actually wishes to keep me company? Allow me to introduce myself. Gordai Skatov, architectural historian. You look deeply despondent over something. What happened? Gordai sighs heavily. Here I go again, pouring my heart out to have you disappear in 10 minutes just like everyone else before you. But alright, here's the story of Gordai Skatov, the unluckiest historian in the Imperium. I was born 2 sectors away from here. My family was quite influential, which allowed me to dedicate myself to my great passion, the history of Imperium architecture. I spent a number of years studying every scholarly work there was to find on this art, and then, once I had inherited my family's fortune, I traveled and documented the development of architectural thought on different worlds, until one day, oh, that accursed and blessed day, until one day I came into possession of something quite special. Gordai pulls out what looks like a book or an album with a homemade leather cover out of his bag. Both the pages and the binding look well worn. Here it is, My Undoing. This is an authentic booklet titled Dwayne's Design, one of the thousands that were printed centuries ago in the times of Footfall's construction. What a curious read, please tell us more. As Cassia takes a shy step forward, Gordai smiles and shows her some of the faded pages. Footfall's founder, Lord Parsimus, was obsessed with his creation's grand future. This booklet describes in detail what Footfall was meant to become upon its completion. Dozens of asteroids turned into glorious palaces and temples, massive bridges spanning the void itself, and the marvelous flying buttresses, the archivolts of the exterior arches, the elegant arrangement of balusters, and the interior. Proliferous 10 stories tall and more than a kilometer long, cyclopean light tubes that catch the light of Furibundus and use it to brighten the halls in the hearts of the asteroids, stained glass windows and mosaics, bas reliefs and statues. Engrossed in his own description, Gordai stands up and starts tracing the outlines of arches and galleries with his hand. Heydari blinks sleepily, barely suppresses a yawn, and starts looking around in bored expression. Keep listening. Emerging from his reverie, he catches himself, blushes slightly, and loudly flops back into his seat. I apologize. I got carried away. But you must understand how deep an impression this booklet left on me when my young self picked it up. I simply couldn't think about anything other than Footfall. I was ready to give my life just to see this incredible station, and of course, no matter how hard my friends and loved ones tried to dissuade me, I still gathered all my savings and set out on a journey. It is no easy feat to cross 2 sectors, especially for a common citizen, albeit one who has some resources at his disposal. I had to change one ship after another, at times being forced to stay on transfer worlds waiting for a vessel headed in the right direction, or for warp disturbances to subside. The voyage took me a total of 107 years. In real space-time, of course. For me it was much less than that. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 35. And then, after all those years, having spent all of my savings, I reached my dream. And what did I see? A dump in the place of the exquisite portico. Metal anthills clinging to the columns. The marble tiles pilfered by paupers to use as cladding for their hovels. Gorday hangs his head. It's been a dozen years since I came here, and I still haven't recovered from the shock. I had suspected that not everything from the booklet would exist in reality, but I never expected to see Footfall in such a sorry state. It's like stumbling upon the horrible decomposing corpse of your beautiful beloved. Argenta's gaze darkens. The warp, like a shameless thief, is guilty of stealing the short span allotted to his servants. But what sense is there in spending half your life in such an enterprise, only to then lose your spirit and waste the remaining half on nothing at all? So then ink and paper too can lie and cause pain, Cassia sighs sadly. Does this mean that all I've ever read will one day disappoint me with the ugliness of reality? But you're an architectural historian. Is what happened to Footfall not part of its history? Gorday strokes his goatee in thought. Yes, Footfall's current appearance, slums fused together with the remains of majestic palaces, is a unique phenomenon. It would be curious to observe if other places have taken after it, thereby solidifying it as a new style of architecture, or if it still remains a local oddity. My word, you certainly know how to provide an unexpected perspective on things. But that as it may, I just want to say thank you for hearing me out. Over the dozen years I've spent on Footfall, not one person has hung around long enough to listen to my story to the end. It's such a delight to have shared everything that's been weighing on my mind. I'm poor as a church mouse, but I still have something to offer you as a token of my appreciation. After studying the booklet thoroughly, I discovered something interesting. A ciphered message scattered throughout its pages, taking the form of a riddle. It described certain places of interest on Footfall. I believe it is the work of the booklet's creators. What if these riddles led to something? A wondrous discovery? I will gladly share what I have been able to learn with you. Riddles? A flash of burning, almost childish curiosity brightens Cassia's austere countenance. Have you not tried to make this wondrous discovery for yourself? I have, of course, but I'm an old man who is blind in one eye and can barely move his legs. I never found anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to find. Tell me about the places these riddles lead to. The first location from the riddles isn't far from here. It's a bridge that was supposed to go through the center of this district and into the void toward the neighboring asteroid. Only a couple of its spans were built, and even those lie in ruins. Still, if the cache has survived all of these years, it is there somewhere. The second location is the Lantern of the Great Cathedral. A lantern is a small tower on top of a dome. You've seen Footfall's atrium, haven't you? The whole atrium is just the nave of the former little cathedral. The liege's entire so-called palace would have fit inside what was meant to be not but a single room. The great cathedral, had it been built, would have been even bigger, but alas, its construction was just getting underway when Dwayne died, and the work stopped. The lantern from its dome, however, had already been built and survived. It was brought inside the atrium and dubbed the Chapel of St. Drusus the Warrior. And that's all I know. I wish you luck in your search. I must take my leave. Good luck to you. Yeah, that's a fun little sightseeing quest.
Rough day?
You have no idea.
I just might. That's the second bottle you've downed.
Jae Heydari. Falco sends his regards.
And what does that unholy scion of a Grox and a Brahan want from me this time? Oh, wait, I don't really care. My sole plans for tonight are drowning my grief in a sea of Amasak.
We'll give you grief, all right. Get her!
Don't think so, Ashman. And tell Falco to come himself next time.
Heydari, I am tired of your mess. Out! Get some sleep. We'll talk about settling up later.
Okti Shireen, light of my eyes. Can't you see my soul is full of sadness? Have you no heart at all? Let go of your material concerns and let me grieve in peace. Have we met somewhere before?
The woman looks at you with the glassy eyes of a drunk, and you notice the 2 empty bottles that had been keeping her company before you arrived. She looks completely out of place in this dingy, smoky bar. The fancy attire, the abundance of jewelry, the implants plated with precious metals. Her appearance not only screams wealth, but also audacity, for only an audacious person would flaunt their wealth in a place like this.
Greetings, Shireen. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
I'm Ulysses, trade envoy of House von Valancius.
Well then, here's to our meeting. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that you're someone special, since you've been granted an audience with the Liege of Footfall himself. It's always a pleasure to make the acquaintance of someone powerful. And the timing couldn't be better. Jae Heydari at your service. Professional trader, shrewd commercial broker, and, may he steal my tongue if I'm lying, the most honest dealer on Footfall. Nonetheless, we all have our problems, and at times even one's many merits aren't enough to solve them. Perhaps it would be no trouble for a person with your kind of power and standing to assist someone with my kind of predicament. I have heard a great deal about how open-minded the members of the von Valancius dynasty are, and Lady Theodora especially.
What kind of cargo was stolen from you?
Goods of incredible rarity, Shireen. But it's not just that. 24 of my people lost their lives in the impenetrable emptiness of the void to acquire them. I cannot leave their families with nothing.
Ordinary smugglers do not dress so ostentatiously or behave so brazenly, and they are unlikely to spoil the mood of the Liege of Footfall with their mere appearance. This woman lost many people to obtain these rarest of goods and to get them back. She turned to Vladame Tokara, the patron of all cold trade in the Expanse. Her cargo can be nothing other than xeno-artifacts, creations of the enemies of humanity branded with heresy. Are you asking an upstanding citizen to be party to the trafficking of xeno-artifacts?
I thought we were on the same page from the start, Shireen. Please accept my sincerest apologies if that is not the case, and allow me to explain myself. If I had told you directly, you would have become, shall we say, complicit. But since those illicit words did not escape my lips, you would hypothetically be agreeing merely to help me recapture a few containers. And if the Ajis suddenly decided to thwart our plans, then all the Void Dogs would be unleashed on me alone. My sincerest wish was to protect you from any unnecessary trouble, Shireen. I swear, by the Exalted One.
I wish to ask you a few questions before I decide.
Ask as many as you wish, Shireen. Trust is the key to a successful endeavor.
What do you need help with?
You see, Shireen, there's one cardinal rule on Footfall. Anything goes as long as it doesn't get in the way of business. I'm someone who's been able to exploit that rule to the fullest. And in recent years, I've hit it so big, I've become a speck of sand in someone's green eye. They used to throw small wrenches into my dealings here and there. Well, now they've decided to really put their backs into it. Some rats stolen my cargo and dragged it off to the seediest part of the Shadow Quarters. A crummy place even for connoisseurs of Footfall's unique atmosphere. When I asked the Liege for protection, we had a mutual misunderstanding. I believe Vladium, in a most lamentable fashion, has forgotten his duties as guardian of the downtrodden and wronged. So I'm in desperate need of a new one. And you, Shireen, fit the bill perfectly. All I need is for you to drop by one dark corner of Footfall Shadow Quarters and pound it into the thieves' heads that taking Heydari's property carries certain risks.
Jae appears to be a serious operator on Footfall. The Liege's refusal to help means the loss of potential ally, so Jae is encroaching on his turf. If Vladium... Didn't know it was Vladium, I thought it was Vladium. If Vladium is not responsible for the disappearance of Jae's cargo, he will certainly benefit greatly from it. If the Liege is neglecting his duties, I shall become your patron.
May the Exalted One bless you and your progeny. Then here's what we'll do. We shouldn't be seen together before we make it to the safe house. I'll head there first. I'll take my own special route so I won't be spotted. Right. Here, that's where those ashmags are keeping the stolen cargo. Out the bar, over the bridge, and to the left. There in the depths you'll find a small courtyard, through which you can get to the place. I'll be waiting nearby. You can come when it suits you, but the sooner you do, the better. I'll see you then, Shireen.
Alright, so we got her quest at least started. Against all odds is usually pretty useful. See, share the spoils is a good starter. Otherwise, we go down. We can get some of the good skills for Pascal. Like, Overcharge Protocol is really good for plasma weapons. Damage increases by 2 times int bonus % stacks. If he doesn't shoot for a round, he loses all stacks, so you just keep him firing even if it's a meaningless shot. Every time he uses plasma or melt weapons, he gains an AP. Yeah, actually we'll do that because we're eventually going to shift him. Actually, no. Because we're not shifting him out of plasma just yet. We'll give him share the spoils. It's useful. It makes him marking targets and everybody just killing them useful. Counterattack stance is good, just to land attack of opportunities. The extra damage is cool, but that's not the real goal with it. Always ready is good, that's going to help with our build. Could do stuff with the tactician abilities, but I'm not super concerned about them. I'd rather see what I can do with Psyker stuff. Yeah, stable routes reduce veil degradation. Can never complain about it. Adira... Probably same thing for marking, because she can't get Psi rating 2 yet. Psychic Barrage isn't bad, because then the Scream is just going to hit harder further away. Because then we just toss Second Sight on there. But I just want to get the marking stuff done. I think that's probably the best bet at the moment. Because otherwise... like, swift movements, maybe. It will not die. But at the moment, we don't really need It Will Not Die. It's not super needed. We don't really need that until, like, the next act. Then everybody needs to start getting that ASAP. Is that everybody? Oh, that was fast. Don't really need to talk to Octaviana. She doesn't have anything to say. Just kind of explains a little bit of the fact that this was, I believe, a sororitas ship, so Sisters of Battle. It was their ship, and then it never really left. So it ended up getting, like, repurposed. Oh, I'm stuck on a janky floor tile. And we'll talk to Ryza. The woman looks to be in her 40s, and she is surveying you with interest. Her right eye appears almost black against her dusky skin, while her left eye emits a greenish light filtered through the smudged lens of a prosthesis. Her arms are tattooed all the way from the base of her shoulders to her knuckles. Looking for something specific? You're buying, or maybe selling? Don't be shy, just ask. Old Ryza knows all kinds of folks. My boys will fetch you anything your heart desires. Grandpa Bachval says hello. Ryza's face breaks into a broad smile. That old rascal. I thought he'd croaked in the mines a long time ago, but old man Bachval's still alive and kicking, you say? Me and him have been through a lot of interesting scrapes together, and oh, all the weird and wonderful things we used to acquired. Bachval wouldn't send his regards along with just anyone. You must have done him a good turn, and because of that, Old Rise is willing to give you a special discount. Yeah, it's pretty nice getting the 5% off. Let's see what you have to offer. I also found out, as long as you have the profit factor, this is just free. Like these med kits. Just mine. I can gobble up anything I feel like grabbing. Navy swashbuckler coat? Sure. Serrated greatsword? Sure. So I can grab whatever, and it's really nice. Bayonet knife, we'll grab it, but because I think you can do a build that's like able to attack at point blank range without getting meleeed back. I don't know if I would really do it, but hey, it's free. Who am I to say no to free stuff? Xeno artifacts and heretic trophies. Well, the big thing is any of this worth grabbing. Like, monofilament grenades aren't bad, but I don't really need them at the moment. Brinkwalker pendant, that's useful, but the people who would use it already have stuff, and I'm not really running people through spots to get them hit with attacks of opportunity. Pyromancer staff. That damage, though, that's some unga bunga damage. Okay, so Apex Predator, that wouldn't be a terrible thing to get. Needle pistol. Tactical backpack could be pretty cool. There's definitely options, it's just... what do you want to use? And of course, this stuff's so far out, like... I'm not getting any of this anytime soon. God, that chain axe is nasty. Each successful hit with this axe increases the critical damage by 25%. Use that, and the item that gives you the bonuses for dual wielding. You put him on Abelard, you have him trigger his heroic act, where he gets just a ton of attacks in a turn. You just beat down someone with that. The second you hit a crit, that's just popping off and melting someone. Oh, that guy just, like, offed himself, I guess. That's unfortunate. You got any cool free stuff? What's that mallet looking like? Master-crafted power maul. I don't like shove weapons. Oh, he didn't off himself, he got bit, because the soft hissing can be distinctly heard from the depths of the furniture. So there's probably a snake that bit him and then he died of, like, poison. And the Refuggy won't have anything to say. That's, by and large, everything here. Take all the free stuff, though. Just boost my rank with factions when I sell it, and then I end up in a better position. And I can get more stuff. Suspicious Prowler. That is a title no one ever wants to have given to them. What's the Prowler have to say? Oh, you eavesdropping? Yes. I want to hear what the Suspicious Prowler has to say. Do any good prowling lately? Okay, so we gotta go out and to the left to find the thing to help Jae. Which will be right... Is this another Anver? Oh, bridge cache. The crumpled note only has this small fragment of text left. You're on the right path, Seeker. The other cache is... neat. Me wow. I don't want to follow, I want to loot. There is free stuff here and I am not letting it pass. Is aiding a smuggler worthy of a rogue trader? Yes. And Adira is starting shit again. Imagine my shock. I love her response like, oh, you're just jealous because she wears revealing clothing and gets drunk. Like, okay. Yes, can I help you? Yes, what the hell are we doing here? I know what we're doing here, and this place sucks. It's dangerous. See? I would have liked to have everybody not be over here. Okay, you go there, you... We'll actually keep you close. You can just go wherever, I don't really care. It's not a good spot. I need Pascal to take cover there and just start dropping shots on people. And yeah, I'm just gonna like vibe over here until Adira can get shoved somewhere else. And then we can kind of rotate people. Devastating attack. Also, I like the no combat music, so it's just awkward silence. Hey, yep, that's what we're supposed to do. Hit the poison gas canister to release poison gas. Except servitors don't care because they're servitors. Just gonna mark him. That was the wrong button. I was thinking it was Warp Curse Unleashed. You know what? Whatever. It also did what I wanted it to do, so... kinda win-win. That combat server is gonna hurt, though. Okay, is that everyone? No. Is this everyone? Also, no. This is the better spot. Yeah, the lack of combat music is really awkward. I feel like I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for something to happen. Do I take the shot? I'm gonna kill the guy I was trying to have spread the curse. Oh, and he's next turn, isn't he? Yeah, he's literally like the next guy. Fine, these guys go by. Actually, if we're gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna have these guys go bye-bye then. Anybody named? You got 86 HP, you'll get marked. Also, game, thank you for putting music back in. You helped make this a little less awkward. Man, it's gonna be real nice when I get rid of Adira. I know some people say she's really useful, I don't need 3 Psychers. That's overkill on this team. Yeah, get all the goop everywhere. Get it in your pores. Oh, gave me a turn? Okay. Give me a boost. And make someone go splat. Like, maybe... Actually, you're not even gonna go splat with this. But now you can't move. When I did this before, these guys shot me in the back so many times. It was a nightmare. I also think, like, none of them survived. And I'll let you in on a little secret. That's not my problem. Yeah, let's just keep boosting Abelard, because they're really trying to put him in the dirt. Boost Cassia. Because then she can boost the rest of the team. Oh, so the blindness isn't permanent. It's just you have to make a bunch of saving throws to counteract it. Okay. Gonna go skratata. Wow, a whole 2 damage. Slow clap, everybody. Please mark people. Hang on, did you spread that to anybody? I mean, what we could do here is run in defensive stance, taunting scream. So at least all those guys are going to be focused on Abelard, and I can just counterattack people when they swing. At least the people who aren't important got stunned. Now take the better position for her, so we can actually get shots like that going. See, it's really tempting to run up here and just stare down everybody. But I could also just start giving out tons of willpower. Move me over. And then what? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run in and do the stare. Because look at the damage output, that just nukes everybody. Actually, what we'll do instead is give Argenta a turn. Firearm Mastery. I don't need Devastating Attack here. And just start punching holes through people. Because getting free Revel and Slaughter, getting more damage out, and better hit chances, I think that's a better trade here. Okay, 95, but he's not going to go down. 65, and he's guaranteed down. I'll take the guaranteed damage. Or the guaranteed kill, if we hit. Worth it. Because then I can still do the stare. Zap everyone. Did me a favor and moved me closer, so... Or at least moved Abelard closer. So that's his own doom. Could blow through everyone. It is tempting. Might as well use Call of the Bold. Call of the Bold, best hit chance, even though I don't need it. And let's just melt the line. I did not see a line. I saw one. You have lied to me. And here we can give Argenta another turn. Her damage output is getting up there. The voice of command should boost her hit chance. Iron Arm isn't really useful here. I think. Screw it, we'll just toss it on for the hell of it. So it's 3 targets, or still everybody the same way. So it's moot whether I'm doing it one way or another. Cover. Unless we don't have line of sight, then we can't do anything. I'd rather just sink shots into the bandits. What are these odds? 3 33s in a row, or 32s in a row. That is different.
That's gotta hurt.
Okay, now I'm really riled up.
Yeah, and Abelard, I have to just rush in.
Stop hitting me, Ashmag!
There we go. Now we're starting to see better odds now that the cover's blown. Can we get a knockdown? Of course not. Yeah, it's probably our best bet. You know what, let's give Abelard a turn. I think this also gives him, like, infinite attacks, or a bunch of attacks for the turn. And with Sworn Enemy, he gets 9 damage extra. 100% chance, 36 to 42. Nah, this guy's gone. Two, 3, 5. Thank the Exalted One. Those Ashmogs didn't manage to take, or didn't have time to make off with anything yet. Jae carefully inspects the containers emblazoned with markings from some unknown freight operator, then smiles and touches the comm bead in her ear. Give me 2 minutes, Shireen. I'll send the coordinates to my loyal crew who will deliver my property somewhere safe. And done. Jae removes her hand from her ear and turns to you. We're good. Now how about we relocate to a more pleasant and private space to discuss the details of our deal, specifically payment for your efforts? Well, we're just going to leave your priceless cargo here unattended? Nothing to worry about. After all the ruckus we've caused here, I doubt anyone will go anywhere near the containers. I am, however, infinitely flattered by your concern for my, now our, property. Let's go. Jae opens her mouth to reply when you hear the sound of many footsteps behind you. Stop right there, in the name of the liege. The gaunt, pale-skinned man in grimy clerical robes glances at you and immediately falls to his knees obsequiously. Your Excellency, please forgive my vehemence, most noble Ulysses. I had never expected to encounter such eminent persons in this corner of Footfall. Most noble Excellency? Jae purses her lips slightly and shoots you a confused look. I am Vladime's... God, I keep mispronouncing the name. I'm just going to stick with something. Vladime Takara's personal agent. The man hesitates, choosing his words carefully. I came here to remove from criminal circulation a shipment, the distribution of which is banned in the lands of Footfall, horrendous xeno-heresy that has been fraudulently delivered to a bastion of the Holy Imperium. He looks at Jae. I do not doubt for a moment, most noble Ulysses, that your presence here is merely a misunderstanding brought about by another's manipulations. It is too great a coincidence that the Liege's representative should arrive in the Shadow Quarters just after Jae has recovered her rightful spoils. It seems that the guards reported the problems with the shipment over the... problems with the shipments over the Vox, and not to just anyone, but to the Liege's personal agent. Vladime Takara knew about the shipment from the start and planned to take it for himself and get rid of Jae if he could. However, the grubby, underhanded struggle between cold traders... behold the grubby, underhanded struggle between cold traders. And had not been for your impromptu deal struck in the bar, Vladime would have succeeded. Jae Heydari, the owner of this cargo, is currently under my protection, under a rogue trader's protection. Tell your master that he should think twice before crossing her from now on. And don't forget to tell him that I'm not mad, and I'll be collecting the debt sometime. Jae watches him hurry away, then looks at you. I wish I could see Vladime's face when he finds out he almost stepped on the toes of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse. Listen, I'm genuinely sorry about this confusion. Vladime and I have had our differences, and I never thought he'd want to clean me out and do away with me in some dark corner. At least not so soon. If you hadn't agreed to our deal, Shireen, my gang and I would already be floating in orbit around one of Footfall's asteroids. Tell me about your business on Footfall, the truth of it, and don't leave anything out. Alright then, this isn't my first year in the Expanse, it's not my first year in business either. I've sat at the negotiating table with all sorts, not just loot hunters or smugglers either, but with Xenos, one's intelligent enough to believe that mutual benefit was a better outcome of our meeting than mutual destruction. I know what the Ecclesiarchy has to say about that, but, speaking from the bottom of my heart, I know where the line is between an ordinary deal and a betrayal of humanity, and I never cross it. A principled rogue who can think on her feet and is not afraid of Inhumans, I like you more and more, Jae Heydari. There are no chance encounters when you're loved by the Exalted One. I like you more and more too, Shireen. Jae winks and flashes you a captivating smile. A rogue trader could use someone with your talents and connections, Jae. I would like to see you in my retinue. Exalted One bless you and your entire dynasty. I wouldn't say no to marking the occasion properly. It's not every day you get to embark on a brilliant new business partnership. Abelard gives you a look of reproach. You sully the Von Valancius name by inviting people like her into your retinue, Lord Captain. The decision is yours, but do not be surprised if unsavory rumors start to spread on Footfall. Argenta regards Jae. It's a strange circle you are forming around yourself, rogue trader. Sister Argenta. Jae gives her an almost lecherous once-over. I've heard all about your deeds on Footfall, but I never would have guessed there was an angelic beauty behind all the idle gossip. And while we're at it, Shireen, when were you going to reveal your true identity to me? Jae cocks her head to one side curiously. I was infinitely flattered by your attention, but if I had known I was talking to a rogue trader, not an envoy of one, I would have shown some decorum. I wanted to talk like normal people do. For a man of my status, it's a rare treat. That is so human, your lordship. I guess people at the top have a lot more in common with regular folk than some might think. Either way, I'm entirely willing to join your retinue. From now on, my knowledge and experience are entirely at your disposal. Oh, and one more thing. If you're interested in a rather lucrative offer, one that can give the Von Valancius Protectorate a leg up, I'd say now isn't the time to be thinking about such things, but once we get back to your ship, perhaps you could spare me a minute, Shireen. Yeah, we're dropping Adira. Ah, the gunk. Why does the gunk still stay? And all those crappy guns and a set of boots. We'll actually get Jae leveled up. Probably just go Master Tactician again. Grand Strategist just is not a good class. And I don't think, in terms of our team, we're losing anything at the moment. I want to say we have all our bases covered. And honestly, just for the moment, I'm not running Adira. Well, we would end up replacing her in actually relatively short order. So I'm not too concerned. Not like I'm putting myself at some big disadvantage or anything. Idira, she kind of reminds me of, like, if you've played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the first game, not the upcoming second one, or depending on when you watch this, the second one when it comes out. The first one, if you played as a Malkavian, all the kind of crazy lines you would hear or get, they were actually kind of prophetic, but you just didn't know. It was things you knew, but you didn't know you knew. And while that does offer some advantages for taking Idira, it's also just... I get tired of it. Plus, the heretical build does not work with this team at all. It screws me over. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.